Iverson draws Jordan out.
I got the moves. I got the moves. I'm making moves. You gotta move. You gotta move.
You try to pick and choose which direction you want to send him at. His quickness is unbelievable.
It had to be real if it worked on the best player that ever played the game. So that made me feel good.
So good. NBA.com sat down with Pistons assistant coach Tim Hardaway to talk about him possibly getting into the Hall of Fame, and he wanted everybody to know he was the player who had the original killer crossover, not AI, saying this. I'm going to tell you this, and I tell everybody this. Allen Iverson carried the basketball. I had the original killer crossover, and people are doing my move. They're not doing Allen Iverson's move. That's the way it is. I brought a unique style to the game. Mr. Smith, does Hardaway have a point? I see that smile.
I can't give it to him. I just can't do it. I can't go against my man AI. I can't do it. Here's my deal. Tim Hardaway is right when he said Allen Iverson palmed the ball. No question about it. But the crossover was a little bit different. Allen Iverson would palm the ball, but he'd hold it up and shimmy a little bit and boogie on you. Tim Hardaway crossed it between his legs one way, crossed over the other. See, that's what Tim Hardaway used to do. And the thing about it is that the crossover was magnificent. It was sensational. It was original in that respect, but it wasn't the same as Allen Iverson's. Now, you could debate one was better or worse. I get that part because it could be Tim Hardaway easy. But the crossover wasn't the same. And as lethal as Tim Hardaway was, he wasn't as lethal as Allen Iverson because Allen Iverson was looking to score and drop 30 on you a night. Tim Hardaway was capable of doing that, but was never that kind of prolific scorer. He could hit perimeter shots. He could hit threes. There's no doubt that he's to be celebrated. My apologies to Tim Hardaway. Please don't be mad at me because I got mad respect and love for the great Tim Hardaway. That crossover was something special. But with Allen Iverson, when he came on you and he threw it on you, you didn't know what he was going to do. Whether it was pull up, it was going to the hole. We saw that from the young Tim Hardaway when he was in Golden State. When he was with Miami, it was usually to run TMC. When he was in Miami, it was usually to pull up Jay. With Iverson, it was everything. Look, of course, everywhere.
Tim Hardaway wasn't as good as Allen Iverson, but that's why he's reducing this to a conversation about the crossover. And Tim Hardaway's like, that was his thing. Stephen A., that was his brand, the crossover.
It was.
And then Iverson's and now when people talk about it, he's just reacting to the fact, where's my name? Because now people are talking about the crossover and it's all about AI. Look, my daughter goes to a basketball skills development program. The Coach Mackey, teaches the Tim Hardaway crossover drill. It's named for Tim Hardaway. People still remember, basketball heads still remember. But you know what? When Tim Hardaway wants to stake claim to like being the original crossover guy, calm down, Tim, because they also teach, Coach Mackey also teaches the Michael Jordan crossover drill. Ask Larry Bird about Michael Jordan's crossover at Boston Garden in the playoffs on the way to Jordan dropping 63 on Bird through the leg. I mean, it's not like Hardaway invented the crossover, but that was his brand before it was Allen Iverson's, and he's getting a little protective, and I love it. I hope AI goes right back at him.
He deserves to be protected. He deserves to be protected because the crossover was something special. And again, it was a little bit different than the crossover you see from Iverson. Here's where Iverson has him. And Iverson will say this publicly if you ask him, because I know he's told me this before. He said that crossover is a first ballot Hall of Fame crossover.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. Factually, that's correct. I mean, hey, I can't knock it. And remember, I covered Iverson, so I'm there when I'm at press row when he crossed over Jordan. I'm right there.
It's also skills.
It was special.
It's also skills built on skills built on skills. Jordan could have done the things he did without Dr. J first. And I mean, that's how it works. And so, like, Allen Iverson was also known for his handles once upon a time, Stephen A. But that has been taken over by, like, Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry. And one day when people talk about someone else's handles, they won't won't bring up Iverson, and Iverson's going to be like, well, timeout, I had handles too. So maybe Iverson's ego will be a little more secure because he was a greater player than Tim Hardaway, and so Tim Hardaway has to bark a little bit louder about, hey, remember me.